Jupiter and Pisces. What does this mean? This means you need to take your Jupiter, find out where it's at, and apply it, aka your houses. Your house is where things happen in the behind the scenes, where things is not seen. Your sign will consider the actions, how it's being played out on a broad philosophical point of view and a reference. So when we have Jupiter and Pisces, this is where Jupiter loves to be, aka this is Jupiter ruling planet. Pisces is the nighttime of Jupiter, which represents the behind the scenes, dreams. When you close your eyes, it's dark, right? Could be many other colors for other people, for other species as well. Jupiter represents expansion, abundance, broad philosophical points of views. How are you going to help the world? Yes. How are you going to help the world? That's what Jupiter wants to see. That's what the universe wants to see out of you. How will you help the world during this Jupiter and Pisces perspective? It's going to be here for a while. And it's going to go right back into Aquarius when it gets into retrograde. But of course, now being that Jupiter has left Aquarius, which is the way we think, communicate, analyze. Now Jupiter is in Pisces, aka our dreams, our fantasies, our illusions. And of course, Jupiter is always going to be there for you as long as you have good luck and good faith and good hope. And of course, as long as you have good luck, faith, and hope, you will receive Jupiter's gifts, Jupiter's rewards, aka your inner world, and of course, the general perspective. Now let's get into Jupiter and Pisces for the houses. See, when we got Jupiter and Pisces in your first house, you're going to take your expansion, your broad philosophical points of views, your good luck, and you're going to basically put this towards your personality. How is your personality going to help the world? How is your personality is going to be very kind and generous towards people? People, places, and things. We all are spirits and bodies, and we all are here to learn and experience. And of course, we are a piece of the broad philosophical points of reference. Our gas, our space, our location, our spirits, our domains. So Jupiter in the first house, you're going to take your broad philosophical points of views, your goodness, your kindness, and your luck, and expand this in your personality. And of course, make sure this is touching hearts, uplifting people, and of course, getting people from point A to point B. Jupiter in the second house, you're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your travel, your expansion, and your growth, and your kindness, and you're going to be basically applying this to the second house. How does the things that you value, how does the things that you have true meanings and reasonings, how can these things help other people? How can your resources help people? Now, we ain't saying just go out here, be giving and giving and giving. You got to have a talent, a trait, a gift. Now, we ain't saying that you got to be all out here giving it all. But of course, use the energies, use the planets, your goal, your perspective. You're gonna find all your luck, all your generosity in the perspective of valuing something or valuing the world, aka what you have to offer to the world. If you value a dream or if you value an illusion by saving the world, go ahead and plant that seed. Harness on that energy. Put this into your perspective. If you got Jupiter in your third house, you're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your kindness and generosity into your surroundings. How can you uplift people, places, and things in your surroundings? How can you help the people, places, and things in your surroundings? How can you make a change in your surroundings? How can you help people that's in need in your surroundings? It ain't got to be about money. It ain't got to be about anything. It's just all got to do is it can be a pep talk. Take your imagination, your broad philosophical points of views, change your surroundings. Be very kind. Be very generous. Clean up your surroundings. Help someone. Be there. Be kind. Be very generous for someone. And you're going to receive all the good fruits and labors from Jupiter. Now, if you got Jupiter in the fourth house, you're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your true meanings and reasonings, and you're going to basically be applying this to home, family, private matters. How can you help your family? How can you help your house? How can you help the people that's underneath that roof in your crib? And of course, Jupiter is exalted here. Pisces is exalted here too. So you're gonna be going to the extremes when it comes to preaching and teaching and loving and caring and picking up the vibes from your family members. Try not to overindulge. Try to find equilibrium and balance. Feel me? But do your part, and everything will be all right. You're gonna receive all the fruits and labors. Jupiter in the 5th house. You're gonna be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your gift, your traits, and you're gonna be basically applying this towards things that you have to offer. Your attention, the way you express yourself, the way you being center stage. How can you be a big-hearted person? How can you be a loving, kind, generous person? Don't be a too egotistical person. Don't be too much of a Jesus Christ during this time. Find equilibrium and balance and peace. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be looking at you on that stage. Everybody's gonna be seeing how you do things on that stage. So of course, you need to be taking your experiences and applying it to your expression, the way you express yourself, or being the center stage. How can you be the center stage of helping people get from point A to point B? Working together, coming together. Teamwork make the dream work. It starts with you. Jupiter in the 6th house. When it comes to your broad philosophical points of views, and of course, this is the opposite sign too. So it's going to be kind of opposite and at odds during this time. But you're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, the way you learn, your experiences. You're going to be applying that to your work, your health, your schedule, your routine. How can you help people with their health? How can you help people with their work? How can you help people by scheduling and sticking with a routine to do something on a day-to-day basis? This is the time to take your body, your subconscious realm, and of course, apply that to the 6th house. How can people, places, and things give their attention to the right things during this time? How can you receive this attention to be able to actually help people get from point A to point B? That's going to be playing out to your perspectives. It may be very hard, but of course, try to learn how to cope with these energies, and everything will be all right. Equilibrium, key is balance. Jupiter in the 7th house. You're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your generous kindness, and of course, you're going to be applying this to relationships, partnerships, people you relate to, friends, enemies of all sorts, people, places, and things, how you relate yourself into the world. If you got Jupiter in the 7th house, you need to be experiencing and expressing your wisdom, your knowledge, and relate this and find equilibrium and balance. You're gonna go to the extremes too, which is cool. Try not to overindulge, because you know Jupiter in the 7th house will make you go to the extremes, because you know this is the exaltation of the 7th house. 7th house loves to be here. It goes on the extreme perspective in this position. Try not to overindulge. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. So try to find equilibrium and balance. You got this position in this criteria. But if you got Jupiter in your 8th house, you're gonna be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your generosity, your kindness. You're gonna be basically applying this to your desires, your deep desires. Now, how can your desires, or how can things that motivate you, make other people be able to actually cope with their life? Because Pisces is the whole purpose of Pisces to basically get into illusions, get into fantasies, get into being very kind and generous, and of course saving the world. How are you going to save the world with your desires and things that you truly desire for? Everything going to start with you in this position. How can you utilize your willpower, your motivation, your intent to do these things on a broad philosophical point of views? It starts with you. Jupiter in the 9th house. Now it's home here, so you are in control. You are the one with the keys. So Jupiter in the 9th house, you're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your spirituality, your kindness and generosity. You're going to be relating this to your morals, your principles, your philosophies. And of course, this is the house where it loves to be. So of course, you're going to be receiving a whole lot of downloads. So be open to receive. You're going to be very preachy and teaching in this position too. You're going to go all out. You're going to go all out. And this is a conjunction, but learn how to expand. Learn how to grow at times. Try not to be too mutable. Try to find a basis where you can be practical with certain references when you apply these things to people. Jupiter in the 10th house. You're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your generosity, your kindness, and you're going to be applying this to your status, your career, your goals, your business. How can your business, your goals, your status, and career uplift other people, places, and things? How can this help you? How can this help others? Most importantly, Jupiter falls here. So it's going to be ups and downs when it comes to your actions, too, and expressing these things. Try to find a way where you can, just try to cope and try to, basically contain that fire just a little bit for it to be able to actually be built. Because, of course, Jupiter is a fire. It's a fire in air. So Earth is an air. But of course, when it's dealing with that fire, fire burns Earth. And of course, Earth is very serious and very practical and down. Of course, when the fire is mutable, the fire can't be contained. But of course, you got Pisces here to basically keep that water and that fire at an equilibrium. So find a way where you can be very generous when it comes to your status, your career, and when you have to offer. Jupiter in Pisces in the 11th house. You're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your experiences, and of course your kindness and generosity towards your associations, your associates, or your people in your groups. How can you apply this help in your group? How can you help other people around you? How can you help the unfamiliar, the unknown? Everything starts with you in this position. So figure out how you're going to be able to actually cope with these matters and cope with these things and be able to actually get people in your surroundings or people that you don't know the help and kindness and need that they need. Of course, universe and God is watching you. How can you subconsciously do this? Everything starts with you. Last but not least, Jupiter in the 12th house. You're going to be taking your broad philosophical points of views, your kindness, your generosity, and of course your experiences into dreams, fantasies, illusions, imagination. Now, how can you basically cope with these energies? How can you do these things? Your dreams are very important. Pay attention to them. Never neglect your dream. Your dream came first, way before everything outside of you. So, of course, this is all about the inner work. Going within yourself, getting your answers. So, of course, this is going to be a conjunction. And, of course, this is going to be a learning process. How can you learn how to do it? How can you learn how to do this on a spiritual perspective? Yeah, it may seem like it's outdated, but, of course, that's never the case. That's never the key. Getting your spiritual bag and everything will be all right. Now, Aries, you're going to have semi-sextile. So you're going to be seeing the other side when it comes to being kind and generous. Of course, you're going to have a trine and a gift too. Try not to overindulge. Try not to be too impulsive. Try not to be ahead of the game of other people because this may hurt you or hurt others. AKA, you're going to pick this vibe up because, of course, Jupiter's in Pisces right now. Try to find equilibrium and balance. Moon in Aries, other people are going to be coming at you with these kind of energies. Watch out. Also, we got Taurus. Taurus, you're going to be seeing the other side of being misunderstood, and you're going to be having opportunities to change things in your life. So try not to put yourself in the circumstance situation of having issues or problems during this time. Feel me? Try not to overindulge neither, because you can be used as a vessel and taken advantage of. Try to find balance and equilibrium. Moon and Taurus, other people are going to be coming at you, and of course applying misunderstandings, and of course they're going to be utilizing opportunities. You're going to be receiving these things while the Taurus sun is going to be expressing these things. Gemini, you're going to be dealing with squares, learning processes. You're going to be all over the place. How can you be all over the place and be immutable and adaptable? Learn how to be organized and everything will be all right. But you're going to be very open during this time with experiences, which are opposites. Moon and Gemini, you're going to be receiving them energies right back your way. Cancer, you're going to be a sextile. You're going to have opportunities to love and care during this time. And of course, you're going to be seen as being misunderstood at times. You may have to be leaving your house, going there to take care of other people's personality. But of course, everything starts with you. How you going to help? Leos, you're going to have a gift to express your motivation, your determination, and express yourself. Also, you're going to be seeing the other side of you. But of course, you're going to be coming across as misunderstood during this time. Virgos, you're going to be in a circumstance situation of dealing with opposite energies. Try to learn how to cope and rise above. And of course, the moon signs are going to be receiving this. Libras, you're going to be seeing a circumstance situation of having opportunities to expand your ways of communication. Of course, you're going to be dealing with misunderstandings at times. Also, Scorpio, you're going to have a gift to transform and help people. You're going to be seeing the other side of life. Sagittarius, you're going to have a conjunction. It's going to be, the ball going to be in your court. And of course, you need to learn how to cope with these new experiences. Capricorn Sun, you're going to be basically having opportunities. Of course, you're going to be seeing the other side of reality. Ups and downs can play a part. Try to cope with it. Aquarius, you're going to have opportunities and you're going to be seeing the other side of expanding your horizon, helping people, dreaming about visions and goals. And of course, everything is going to play out into your perspective. So act on these energies. Pisces, you're going to be seeing the other side of your power. And of course, you're going to be learning how to cope with these things and with these natures by expanding and going through experiences that's going to basically bring you passion and not be too passive aggressive. And of course, these are the energies. And the moon signs, you're going to be receiving these energies right back.